I know a boy, his name is Zach. He loves to fit, he loves to stack. Yes, construction is his knack. He's Zach, the Lego maniac. He builds in the window, he's off the wall. He builds them big, he builds them small. In Lego land, he'll rock and roll. He's Lego wild, out of control. Zach, he's a Lego maniac. Zach,
we are recording. So I don't know. I'm just gonna call people. Let's just call people. Call Zach Peterson.
Calling Zach Peterson.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, dude, what's happening?
Oh, just recording right now.
Cool.
But you don't have to be on. It's just you and me right now, though.
Oh, I don't care.
Have you been listening to the episodes I've been dropping?
No, I haven't.
Of course not.
I haven't listened to one. Yeah. How's it going? Jesus.
Yeah, it's just that. That's what's going.
You got the Rona?
No, don't. But I think you did.
No, I don't think so. Still,
I
wish.
Hold on.
I have some of the antibodies.
Hold on. Be true here. We don't have to air this. We're recording, but be true here.
Okay.
I know you're not a gambling man.
Uh-huh.
But do you like, because everyone's like, even a report came out today of like how many people think that they got it. Oh, I've had this in November. I had this in December. I had this in January. So not even what is the percentage of how much you think you may have had a version of it or something with that unexplained pneumonia you had? Do you think?
I would say it's pretty low. Maybe I would say 20% at the most. And the reason why is I had visitors the whole time, and not one person got sick. Nothing. We had all the, I got out late Christmas Eve, Christmas night, did all the family stuff for the next week. Nobody got sick. No one in the hospital got sick,
So because it's so contagious and no one got sick.
And unless somehow I had a fever before I got to the hospital, that too, I never had a fever the whole time I was in the hospital.
So, okay. All right.
Yeah. And I actually didn't get my cough until my lungs started healing. So I never coughed leading up to it.
It was just hard for you to breathe. It was just painful to breathe. That's it.
It was extremely painful to breathe, and there was a bunch of fluid around my right lung, which I haven't heard anything about fluid around the lungs. You know what I mean?
Just in the lungs.
Exactly. Is that what you've heard too?
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah. So the fluid was around my lung. They had to go in right next to my right lung and drain it out. That way it could expand more.
Okay. All right.
Believe me, it gets in your head. And now, obviously, I wish that I would have had it. Then I might have some of the antibodies. I wouldn't be so paranoid. You know what I mean?
So are you a little worried because you kind of have baby lungs going right now that...
Well, yeah. I mean, I was, because I was actually had a lung doctor appointment last Wednesday, and they called and rescheduled it 3 times, and which I understand. I'm imagining a lung doctor is super busy right now.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was getting more nervous about having to go sit in the doctor's office too as it got closer. And then a couple hours before, they called and canceled and just said, "Hey, we can't. We don't. She's just not even here." I said,
Right.
I understand, but I was hoping to get some more X-rays and stuff done just for some peace of mind, to be whether I could be extra cautious, just like everyone should be, or if I actually needed to be living in a bubble. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So did they offer to refill your prescription and all that too, or no?
No, I don't have any. I have inhalers. I have 2 different inhalers, and then that's it. Other than that, it's just they gave me pain meds and some stuff like that, but that was it. I don't have any actual prescriptions that they gave me for my lungs anymore. I had some stuff when I first got out of the hospital, but that was it. So Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad that you're doing better then. That puts my mind at ease a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're
No,
I'm sure people still busting your balls and stuff, calling you patient zero still though.
Yeah. I think people now, I mean, yes, yeah, they were, but now everyone's taking it, pretty serious. I think, even myself, even, you and I, when we talked last time, we were joking about it.
Yeah, then you're right. You get a little more serious now.
But, the world kind of changed overnight, so, and, my mistake was thinking, because I was in Southeast Asia in the beginning of February when it was really getting rolling there. But they were prepared. They've been through the, situations like this. So I guess I assumed we would be taking the same precautions in the United States and I guess all of, Western civilization, Europe as well. And we missed by a mile.
What's your opinion on Inslee right now?
So the first couple days of it, I was like, man, this guy's an idiot. What is he doing? And turns out he was right by closing the schools down and doing some of the stuff at the beginning. But then the fact that he just let it go on for so long, it's no coincidence that he waited for Boeing to give the go ahead to shut down before he did.
It was
what I mean?
it was the same day. It's in the morning. Boeing's.
It was hours later.
Yeah, Boeing's like, hey guys, we gotta shut this thing down, and then Enzo's like, yeah, we'll shut this down too. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
it's like a neighbor.
So the first few days of it, because when he closed schools, I'm like, geez, come on now, dude, we're getting a little carried away. That's let's call a strike a strike. He was 100% right on doing that early there, but the fact that he let things drag on and on and on and on and on, that was only just. Let's face it, Inslee doesn't have a strong platform, and the only thing that gets him going to get him reelected in Washington State, well, one is King County, but two is the economy. So if Boeing and we start losing some of the economy, I think he's in trouble. But who knows? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it was good to keep the economy going for a little while longer. But just as a layman looking at the situation, I think he could have shut her down earlier.
Yeah, the whole thing's been weird. I've been given Mike Martinez is Mr. I'll do what I want. I'll go where I want. I'll do this.
Yeah.
And I've been playing the opposite of that on kind of which has drawn him into being even more so, and me even I'm like, hey, no one leave. Everyone has to stay. No one go outside.
That's where I'm at too. I don't do anything. If I have to go to work, I'm pretty not happy about it.
Are you essential?
Yeah, I am essential because some of our crew, some of our equipment's still going, even though most of construction shut down. A lot of it isn't too. My job, we're not even allowed in the stores basically right now. If I have to go to work, I try and get stuff outside, or I just don't. We can't go to our stores unless it's an emergency. The guys that work in the sales department. So there's that side of it's good, but I don't know. I do feel like I have it pretty good compared to a lot of people that are considered essential, because I am, for the most part, I do support calls over the phone, FaceTime, and work on the computer now. So I feel pretty lucky to have that. We'll see how long it goes for.
Yeah. Well, I have my own sort of theory. Everyone has their theory on it. Was it bio warfare? Was it manufactured in America and brought over to China through those athletes, or did Wuhan did they make it, or was it because we released 5G the same week? But mine is this. I think it was made. I think it was made by millennials like myself, because we like being called like kings and champion, and hey, you did good, all-star, and now we just wanted to be told in the workplace that we're essential, and so I think it was a bunch of millennials that just thought, you know what, if we could prove to everyone that we're essential in our work zones, then that's the goal. So I think that's maybe what happened.
Well, they're doing a good job of it. Except for, I think we're quickly realizing what essential is in life.
Right.
I think you got to remember, I live in a 1-bedroom small apartment.
That's true. That's true.
I don't have a lot of contact with the outside world. I mean, I haven't seen, really anybody in, like, literally, like, if my mom dropped stuff over, I would make her sit on the porch.
Right.
See her, because I'm still interacting with people, so I don't want to get anyone sick. So, yeah, I've had a lot of time to kind of reflect and think, and most of it's just probably 90% nonsense. But man, you get stuck in a shitty 1-bedroom apartment for 3 weeks, and let's face it, we've probably got another 8 to go.
Yeah.
Assuming.
Oh yeah.
Whew. I mean, I don't even go grocery shopping. I do Instacart and have it delivered because I am starting to get more and more nervous about my little baby lung.
I would.
Yeah, so I don't really leave. But yeah, no, I like some of your theories though. I do. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to think that it was just strictly an animal and there's no deep society. I do think that the world China needs repercussions for whatever reason, because I think they withheld a lot of information, and the World Health Organization as well. I mean, things are coming out that they knew it spread person to person
Dude,
in the beginning of January, and rather than offend China, they just didn't post that. So
yeah.
I feel like that information, and not to be conspiracy theorists, but Beijing and Shanghai are very close, and they've literally, I know they had their cases, but for the most part, been untouched.
Oh,
and the rest of the world's brought to its knees.
Yeah, no,
that's weird.
Yeah,
but like I said, ultimately, I mean, I'm hoping that it's what do they say? It's from a pangolin or a bat or something like that. Ultimately, I hope that's what it was. But will we ever know? I don't know.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
I like the memes. Some of the memes that are coming out. One of the memes I like is it's that picture of Michael Scott shaking a hand on The Office, where he's like younger and he's got like his little fanny pack on.
He's got the hair
and it goes the World Health Organization. Shaking the hand with China, who's lied about all their numbers.
It's so true. It's so true. And like, I don't get too political, but I mean, we're doing better at pointing fingers at each other here than rather pointing at fingers at China. And I mean, the whole world calls it the China virus, besides the PC people in the United States. Like,
right.
I follow a lot of the newspapers and news stations in Southeast Asia. I just have the Straits Times, which is the Singapore's national thing, and then South China Post, which is in Hong Kong. And literally everyone calls it the China virus.
Yeah.
The PC people here don't, because they're scared of offending China, which stinks because, I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of the propaganda. I mean, China's releasing like Joseph Goebbels level propaganda videos.
Oh, really? No.
Oh, Nazi level stuff. I'll have to send some to you. And this isn't, like tinfoil hat videos that people are scrounging on the internet. They're just out there talking how they saved the day, and they're now providing aid to all the world. And one of them says something like, in the movies, America tries to think that one person is in the world, but in real life, it's China that can save the world. Like, these are things that are being released. So,
oh wow,
I don't think we should let them get away with it. So,
well, I just thought it was so weird. One of the things I thought was so weird was how fast Iran got it. Like,
yeah, that was weird.
That's like, to me, so weird, because you're thinking, are these guys like getting together and figuring out like,
right?
Who's, and it was one of the top commanders of Iran too. So,
yeah.
so
it's I mean, the ultimate thing is this: there's no blueprint. Like, what's right, what's wrong, whose reactions are good,
right,
bad,
right.
I mean, the thing is, honestly, the scariest thing is you don't know the actions you're taking today. You don't know the repercussions for up to 2 weeks.
Right.
That's the thing. Like, I had to go to the post office this morning. So good. The post office sucks right now. Believe me. So now now I like all day. Like, I immediately, if I leave, I step foot in the door, strip down, everything goes in, shower, scrub down, all this stuff. But now I got 2 weeks in the back of my mind.
Right.
Trading those dirty post office terms,
Well, what's great for me is that my wife, who's a store manager at an essential place where she's there for 10 hours, 5 days a week, I almost thought about just putting a blue tarp over the porch and just, she walks into it, and I just
Set her a tent up there.
Yeah, I just shut her, and I just spray her down, like every day, cold water.
Yeah,
which would be fun.
No.
But then, yeah, and there's a part of me that's like, was like, hey,
It's too late now.
yeah, I'm like, hey, maybe what I'll do is, like, I have to wait 2 weeks. So if she gets, dude, I want to just go someplace else, Zach. I want to move in with you. But the weird thing is, the weird thing is I have to like go to like a purgatory place for 2 weeks and then go move in with somebody else. Because who knows if I got it from my wife today?
Exactly. No, you don't want to be here. Trust me.
I don't know.
I try and clean and organize, but then you realize you don't have any space for anything.
And no one visiting you.
You got nothing. You don't got a whole lot of daylight. So you just try and figure out how to like store supplies off AliExpress and Alibaba because nothing's available in the United States. So you have to have them shipped like a month in advance from Korea. Serious. But if you want to spend the money in shipping, you can get masks. You can get it whatever you want. I've been doing some research on it.
Dude.
So, yeah.
Well, you're going to put my wife out of business.
What's she doing?
She's a grocery store manager where people have to walk into the house or walk into the grocery, get their stuff and walk out.
No, I'm talking like healthcare stuff for some of the real essential people, not people like me who get to claim they're essential, you know? Because, I think some facial shields and masks and stuff are a good idea.
Yeah, your 3D printer. I do like how you almost sound like your connection's cutting in and out. I don't know what you're doing. So it kind of sounds like
pacing.
You're pacing.
At the point where I'm pacing.
I do that too. It's okay. It's a good exercise. But you're in this 1-bedroom bunker, just going through all these different theories of COVID and and then also the health care. And you're just like, I think I do hear a tinfoil hat kind of bouncing around on your head.
I try not to be paranoid, and I try not to be paranoid about my own health. Because like we said, like you asked me earlier, 20% chance in my mind, I think maybe I already have it. Maybe I'm getting it.
Right.
Man, you do hear you never hear the success stories, but you do hear the bad stories of people our age that have passed away, you know.
Oh, yeah. You never...
Were probably healthier than you and I, you know. So.
Yeah. Oh, and that's the other thing. It's like, how are they getting it? So I've heard this. Yeah. Okay, here's one. You hear the success story of someone who's like 95 beating it, and you're like, wow, that's pretty cool. And then it's like, oh, this 35-year-old passed away, and he went to the gym 10 days a week. And it's like, what? Like, so it's like, how is this guy just dying? And they talk about blood types and this and that, but
I do wish I had my blood. I wish I knew what my blood type was. I don't know how I don't know that.
Me neither. I don't know what mine is either.
The arrogance of the American people. Is that us?
Yeah. Dude.
Like
Dude, we are. What blood type?
I know.
Who gives a?
It'll never happen to us.
Who gives a rip? Yeah, I know. It's so true. Like, okay, I sponsor this kid out in Indonesia. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it got it from church, you know. So who knows? Maybe it's going to some like 45-year-old guy who's scamming me right now on a beach. Right. But so I just do my due diligence. I write him a card here and there, a letter like once a month, every other month. Hey, his name's Messi. Hey, Messi. Hope everything's going well. And now it's like, what does he know? Like, does he know anything? Like, I'm over here writing this, and I type it out, so it's not really writing it. But it's like he's not receiving it in the mail like it's anthrax. I'm like, oh gosh. Right. But I'm typing it out, and so, but there's a part of me that's like, how deep do I go with this kid who's 9 years old? Yeah. Or do I just say, hey man,
wash your hands.
Yeah.
Don't touch your face. No. Right.
That's good.
Dude, you got the Rona for
Dude,
sure.
I've had this cough since I was a kid, so this is the worst. Literally, I made a post about this on Facebook, but I do feel like when I was at work like 3 weeks ago when we could still go to work, if I had a little tickle in my throat where I wanted to cough, I'd be like a little cough. But you feel like that guy in the zombie movies who's sweating, and he's not big, but everyone thinks he's bit, and they're ready to kill him. And everyone in my freaking cubicles were like looking at me, peering over their friggin' cubicle walls, staring at me, going, "Travis, how you feeling? You got a little slight fever? Is it hurting? Is it hurting to breathe a little bit?"
It happened to me probably. Well, it was probably around the same time you were doing this. I got my hair cut at the barbershop, and I had the throat tickle going, and you're just hanging on for dear life.
Oh man! Yeah. And then you get to talk. That's the other thing, and so you're like talking like this. Hey, everything's fine. You're just trying to hold off that cough.
Mm-hmm. Yep. How you been passing time? I go for walks. That's my deal.
I used to go for walks until I took my 3-year-old and she had a full-on meltdown, and then it's like, well, I got a trampoline, so,
I go for like 6-mile walks by myself, not for exercise, just to pass time.
Are you that hard up?
Dude, I get pretty bored, man.
Well, here's the thing. I was worried about you. I was.
I appreciate the phone call.
Because I was thinking, like, this dude has got a cultural shock, rude awakening right now, because his ass can't drive or fly anywhere for the next, like, 2 months, 3 months. Who knows how long?
Yeah, who knows? I know.
And so it's like this guy's used to hopping planes, like, once or twice a month for work or for pleasure. Like,
no, it's very different. Like, I literally, I haven't put my suitcase away probably in a year. You know, I usually bring it in, unpack it, and then just put it in the corner because I don't have to fill it up again here soon. But it's outside in the patio or the balcony closet.
Yeah.
I don't know when I use the thing. Yeah, no, it's definitely different for sure. For sure.
Are you at the point where you might, like, if you know someone's been quarantined for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
You know that they're quarantined. You know they haven't gone anywhere. Are you considering moving in?
No. No, because, like, I still have to go out, and I wouldn't want to get anybody sick. You know what I mean? Like, today, like I said, I went and looked at 2 machines. I didn't see anybody or anything like that. But you never know. But then I did have to go to the post office. So I would rather, I don't want to get anybody sick.
Did you wear a mask?
Maybe did I wear a mask today?
Yeah.
No, but I should have, because I have some left over from last time in Asia. But when I got to the post office and I was walking in, there was like 5 people walking out, and they all had masks on. So from here on out, I think I'm just going to do it if I have to leave. I don't even care.
I know it feels weird.
Smart.
And it is smart, and it feels weird because like half the population thinks, "Oh, that's just fake." I've read my articles where it could still get in and this and that.
Yeah.
And the other half is like, "No, man, you got to wear it." Like,
you can't tell me it doesn't help, right? I mean, every country in the world, civilized or uncivilized, is recommending wearing masks now, except for us. And now we're starting to go back and forth on it.
Right.
Which I understand. Like I was saying, if you want to cause a pandemonium, why don't you tell the entirety of the U.S. population that, yes, you should wear masks, they'll help protect you. Oh, wait, we don't have any anywhere. I mean, that would be chaos, right? So I understand why they haven't said that, but I mean, it's now, like I just read, like Austria, I believe, was the first truly Western country. It's now illegal to step foot outside without a mask on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
Zach,
I mean,
right now.
Yeah, they obviously don't help if that's the case, right?
Okay, do me a favor.
Yeah.
10 years from now.
How many?
Right now, 10 years from now, like, where are we? Where are we with sports? Where are we with handshakes and socializing? Where are we with radiuses of dinner tables? Or not dinner tables, but like you go to a restaurant. Are things like crammed where it's like 4 feet, 3 feet away? Are we 6 feet away now? Like, what does this look like in 10 years?
I don't know. I mean, I hope it looks a lot like it did a month ago. You know what I mean? But I think maybe there'll be a lot less, I think, business travel. This might change. This might be kind of one of the big changes in the education system. You know what I mean? If people are actually now being able to do this stuff online, might be able to change that, a lot of it. You know, and that goes for public schools all the way up to like universities, right? If you're getting degrees solely online now, like, is that going to change? But as far as just like the social atmosphere, I don't know. I don't. At some point, I don't know. I think humans are pretty social and they like being around people. So,
Right.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know. Like I was talking to my buddy George the other day, and I was like, "Well, I don't want to get you sick. You just had a baby and this and stuff." I go, "But maybe I'll sit in your driveway. I'll have a beer. Keys out of the ignition, the whole deal.
Right.
Wave through your window. We'll be on speakerphone. Something like that. I don't know, man.
I mean, even to where you could get, if you could get a, I don't know, get a hazmat suit.
Yeah.
Would you, would you then at that point just walk around town with a hazmat suit and just like be completely cool with it?
Why not? I mean, I don't know. At that point, why couldn't I sit in the passenger seat of my pickup while you sat on your porch and bullshit? You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
I think that is more realistic, but I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
It's weird. It's weird to even think about.
I think a hazmat suit would kind of take out the like intimacy of human interaction. You know what I mean?
Right. Well,
I don't know if that would help the problem.
But could you imagine, like right now, think of all the stadiums out there. Baseball, football. I mean, my gosh, the Raiders built a beautiful stadium.
I know. I was staring at that thing from my hotel room in Vegas, which, come to find out, like that's when the world changed. Literally, my phone, every time I buzzed at my phone, my heart would drop a little more. When I was in Vegas. Like,
well, yeah.
My phone would vibrate in my pocket, and it was something new canceled, some new warning. Like, I left, and there was some cases at the senior center up in Kirkland, and literally 2 days later, when I'm in Vegas, the world changed.
Yeah. Oh, and then
Weird.
yeah. And I think it not only did it change. I think right before it, like a day or two before it, it massively like kind of shut down. And because I saw some of the the Watersons, that with their Snapchats and this and that, like the airport looked empty.
Yeah, it was shutting down. Like Con Expo, like if it would have been 4 days later, they would have canceled it, guaranteed. You know what I mean? Just as fast as they actually closed it one day early.
Oh, really?
That's how fast it changed. Yeah, they shut it down completely. And then some of my coworkers at that point, when they announced that, some of them just jumped on planes right then. By that point, I had 2 nights in Vegas, and I was kind of over it, and I was flying out the next morning. But I left when they started announcing stuff like that. I went up to my room, I think probably at 2:00 in the afternoon, and I didn't come out the rest of the time. I just drank water and watched some TV and tried to just wrap my head around how fast things were changing. And then we got on, the rest of us got on the plane first thing the next morning. But yeah, that's when it changed. Yeah, it was weird. Crazy.
Dude, it was. It was like while you guys were there. And then
yeah.
So what are you thinking about the NFL? Is it going to happen or what this year? Like, I know they said, hey, we're not going to change anything. Everything's staying the same.
50-50. 50-50.
Dude.
I mean, sure. At the most, 50-50. I'm leaning probably towards less. Aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm at the point where it's like right now they're trying to extend the season, but I'm also at the point where it's like nothing surprises me now. Like I'm still surprised. It's still like wow, but I'm still like going, that wouldn't surprise me.
Right. I mean, what's more? I mean, I think NFL has a little bit better chance than college.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
I think, I think college football's probably, I'm leaning towards probably not going to happen. Like, I think they're closer to calling it a season than not. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. I mean, we need a vaccine, right? To stop this thing. Because I don't know. I just don't see it. Even if it slows for summer, not saying it stops, but slows. I mean, this fall could get real ugly again. So
it could get so ugly, and the vaccine's like the number one thing, and even
that has to be it.
It has to be it. And then you start thinking. So then here comes the theories. Here comes the weirdness, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
and how do you even deploy vaccine for the whole world.
Right, exactly. And then on top of that, you start look at all the stuff that they like today. Washington State said, "Hey, we're going to start using facial recognition we're okay in it now." Like, there's a lot of things that are just getting slipped under the rug. No,
you're not. You're not wrong.
And so it's like, okay, so and I believe me, I'm a believer. I believe in the Bible. I believe in the end times that things are going to get turned out. So they say it in the end times that everyone's going to get a chip, right, or something like that, get something to track them, and then on top of that, you can't buy or sell without this thing. Then
you mean like China? You mean like China's cell phone policy?
Exactly, mark of the beast, right? So then, so then people, so you're starting to think about it, it's like, well, what if it's like you can't go to the grocery store if you don't get this vaccine, and in this vaccine, there's also they've also mandated that there's a tracking chip because we've had too many human trafficking things and too much of this and that, and we want to make sure that we can, it's all security, it's all the disguise of security and all that. But then are those people who are, looking at it from this biblical worldview going, I ain't doing that. Well, fine, then you ain't going to eat,
Yeah.
Then,
no, I know.
We're not going to force it upon you, but you ain't going outside. And if you do, we're throwing your ass in jail. And so, I don't know. This is where the imagination runs wild. But
exactly. If you start going down that rabbit hole, like if you start clicking on stuff on social media, man, holy hell.
Yeah, but here's
social media is about the worst thing on the planet right now.
It is.
If there's something more depressing, I can't think of it. I would rather watch, any news channel than just scroll through social media at this point. You know what I mean? It's more uplifting if that's even possible.
But here's the cool thing, okay? And here's an uplifting story. I don't know if you're following it at all.
I'm looking forward to hearing it.
So I think back in the 70s, might have been 60s, 70s, somewhere around there, NASCAR had a nice race. I think it was a Daytona. I think it might have been Daytona 500. Might have not been, but it was some race. And there was a huge storm where everyone was at home watching their 6 channels or whatever. And on the last lap, I think Cale Yarborough got wrecked. And he comes out, flying out, and he's out of his car, and he's ready to pummel the guy. And they get a fist fight on camera.
The Allison brothers.
Who was it?
The Allison brothers.
They get a huge fight.
Bobby and Davey Allison, I believe.
And then and then that's what kind of birthed people watching NASCAR. It was like, whoa! Yeah. The TV was on. They were bored. There's a storm outside, and then that kind of like really propelled NASCAR. Well, now you look at this, where you can't have sports, but you can have iRacing, and they've had iRacing for the past several years, and it was just so that the new rookie drivers, they could get on there and they could get a little more experience before they jump on the track with a bunch of veterans.
They could learn the track. They don't get the car, not nearly the car feel, but they know.
Right. Right. And now they got iRacing, and you got Dale Jr. on it. You got Clint Boyer. You got young people. You got other people that are just iRacers. They have never even gotten into a stock car before. And every Sunday, 100 laps. But you get some veterans and some Dale Jr. racing again. I mean, that's huge. As well as you get some other people you don't even know. And I think that once again, I think NASCAR is gonna. It's that same jump that they had back in the 70s or whatever it was, where now it's going to be probably the thing to now start watching and betting on and doing all that. Yeah,
I mean, maybe. The thing with NASCAR, the thing that really locks people in being lifelong fans, though, is seeing a race in person.
Right.
That would be the only thing, because that's kind of the excitement, the noise,
hearing the engines, feeling it.
Exactly.
Right.
The presence of a lot of danger, even in this day and age when it's as safe as it's ever been, I think that really is what draws it in. But hey, you know what I mean? The way that the world's going, if we have to wear our Tyvek suits, maybe that's how we do it.
Well, yeah, And we are creatures of habit. So,
Right.
I mean, if you get another 4 or 5 races in that are iRace series, I mean, you might get people that start, hey, Sunday I'm going to throw it on, and it's not 300 laps. Thank goodness. It's not.
Right.
It's not. You know, where you're sitting there for 2 hours, 3 or 4 or 5 hours, going. You know, it is 100 laps. The cautions don't take as long to get everyone set back up into line. It's actually pretty sweet, and I would love to see some. I think Biffle is racing again. I'd love to see Casey. I'd love to see some of these other people that were back in the day, 10, 15, 20 years ago racing. Love to see them get back into it, just even for a couple races.
I don't know if the 10, 15, 20 years ago, I mean, those guys are 50. They got to, you got to remember there is a technology aspect.
Well, they just have they could have their grandson hook it up, but they could just jump in and just turn a wheel and shift still probably after a few practices.
You would think so, yeah. I saw Jimmy Johnson did the IndyCar race, and then like Cruz Pedregon, the drag racer, he was racing the sprint car race tonight. The Outlaws iRacing event tonight.
So the Outlaws have iRacing going now too.
Yeah.
Dude, I just bought Tony Stewart's whatever Outlaw game that I think came out in like probably February or January. So I didn't know that. I'll watch that.
I didn't know they had one. I actually bought a video game the other day. I bought that Modern Warfare because I figured I was probably going to spend some time in here.
How do you like it?
Well, I don't know. I don't have like the headset or anything, so I haven't played online. I only did the story mode.
You need to get the headset.
I'm so removed from video games, and I used to be pretty good at video games, but man, I just feel like I don't know if a headset would be good for me to play online with a bunch of 10-year-olds.
Dude, you can jump into our parties. Kyle Pierce and Mike Martinez and a few others. We'll take you, and then we just you shoot the breeze, and then you just go shoot people, and then you shoot the breeze. It's pretty fun. It's like fishing.
We'll see. Yeah, no, I downloaded that the other day. So yeah, maybe I'll order up a headset and play a couple rounds with you guys. we all might have some time on our hands for a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Is it Xbox or PlayStation, or what did you get it for?
I have it on Xbox.
Good. Yes, that's what we do too. So good job.
Don't they do like cross-platform gaming now though?
There are a few games that are. Maybe these are. I don't know. That's how far removed I am. Like I consider myself a gamer. In a sense, because I've always played video games, but then you get on here and, like you said, dude, 10-year-olds just
stomp you.
Yeah, beat you down. Yeah. And
exactly.
I used to go to when I used to go to the comedy club there in Tacoma. One guy, he was a black guy that would tell some jokes. He's actually pretty funny, but he would go out there and he would talk about online playing, and he's like, people just cuss you out nowadays. They'll talk trash to you. Like, they'll sit there, they'll call you every word of the book. He goes, I got called an N-word, and then I lived in my mom's basement for the entire night. Every kid that got on there, and I'm like, how'd they know? But it's true, man. You can get some trash talk. And one of my favorite ones was I was playing Madden football. I blew this person out, and he got on there, and he like sent me a voice recording, and he was my age. It wasn't a 10-year-old. It was like my age. Oh, you cussing me out, this and that. So this was like when Madden, my daughter, was like maybe 10, 9 or whatever. And I put the headset on her, and I sent him a voicemail, but I wrote out what I wanted her to say. And so she was like, I never win at these games. That's fun. I can't believe, like, and this guy was obviously highly skilled. And so it's just to hear this 9-year-old girl just talk about how great, how amazing it was to finally win a game and all this stuff. Oh, it was great. He never sent me anything back, but it was awesome.
That is good. I saw a meme, speaking of the Madden, I saw a meme the other day, or maybe it was today, I forget where I saw it, but said, like, wanted to see sports so bad, I set Madden for CPU versus CPU. sat and watched the whole game.
The funny thing is that me and my brother, on like big games, Super Bowl, even Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving. Oh, we'd sim it. We would always sim it. in the morning, and we would sit there and watch it. Like, it wouldn't be like a sim where it would be like, all right, in 30 seconds it kind of calibrates and there you go. It was like, no, we'd sit there and watch every play. It was stupid, but that's the future. That's our future, Zach.
I don't know. Maybe I'm so excited for the NFL draft. Like the one time I've been so happy with Roger Goodell not postponing it. Like, and we might not even see these people play for 3 years, right? But man, am I.
Dude, if you were college, when do you have to like, say, what do they call that where you enter yourself into the draft? What is that called?
Declare?
Yeah, what they declare. Has that passed?
I don't know. Probably. I mean, well, now you miss the combine. You can't do person-to-person interviews. You can't do physicals. There's no more pro days. So I mean, I don't unless you're Trevor Lawrence, what good is it going to do?
Right, exactly. Well, if you're Trevor Lawrence, or if you're anybody that probably is a name right now, looking at your college season possibly being canceled, and now you've got to wait a whole another year. Do you just
with the XFL and then never showing up and then just that's all. I'm doing. If you miss if you can't declare, say fine. I'm going to play with the XFL next year.
Ooh,
I mean, really?
Yeah.
At that point, you don't have to play. Just say you're going to sit out a year. You're still going to be the number 1 overall pick.
That's true.
I mean, these kids are so young, but
a year's a year in the NFL. A year's a year. I mean, that's
exactly
that's. I mean, it may not matter 24 to 25 or 25 to 26, but you get to 29 and 30 and 30 and 31. That's huge.
Especially at the quarterback position.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll think of like some of these Olympic athletes that like this was going to be their last hurrah, from the older ones, like a year on their bodies. You know what I mean? Where they might have had a legit shot.
Right.
Something, and now they got to wait a year while staying in shape and keep beating themselves up for these whatever training programs they're going through. I mean, that could have a substantial, it could have a lot to do with outcomes, I guess.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's weird. I don't know how what about all the logjam of, college baseball and stuff like that now? Like,
they're saying, well, they're saying
year eligibility, but is that for everyone?
Oh, I don't, no clue.
Through senior,
Yeah, I don't know.
It's going to work. They're obviously going to have to enhance roster, add roster spaces or allow more people in the roster. They're going to have to add scholarships for all these, spring sports and stuff. It's going to be weird. I mean, people are going to get left in the dust regardless, right? There's no way you're going to be able to take care of everyone. Like, what about the high school seniors that were on the verge, who were going to have a breakout baseball season?
And
bad for them.
Or do you freeze time and say, okay, we're going to just go ahead and say we all started canceling things in February, March of 2020. So we're going to keep everything canceled until February, March of 2021 academic wise. And then everyone's just going to be a year older, and we're not going to, I mean, if they cancel college and, seasons, and then you have, I mean, at some point it's going to stack up. Like like even my kid who's a 3-year-old preschool right now, who's going to go to 4-year-old preschool. Well, do you hold those 4-year-olds back, or do they move forward, and you're going to have this huge monster kindergarten class who's repeating kindergarten, and then this new people coming? Like, it's just crazy.
There's no like we were saying earlier. There's no blueprint for this. No one knows. I don't know. I don't know. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If we get through and things can start returning to normal at the end of summer, whatever the new normal is, I don't know what that's going to be, but at least some resemblance of what we've had, maybe things will be okay. But if it kicks back off again, and then we pause everything again for another 4 months or whatever,
forget it.
Point, if it starts earlier in the year this next year because of fall, and then now we're dealing with it till June of the following year, like what happens? And it's more, to me, like I get the lockdown, and I am 100% for it. We've talked about how paranoid I am.
Right.
I think freezing. This is what bothers me about so many people talking about, let's bail out the stock market markets, and we're going to bail these corporations and stuff. If the world's economy truly crashes, it will kill 10 times more people than this virus ever will.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe not. Maybe you won't see it in the good old U.S. of A. and in places like that. But third world countries, it will kill 10 times more than the virus ever would.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't like. That's why at what point do you say I'm sorry for the at risk and the 65 and olders? But I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Well, to me, it's like you either got to do one of two things.
Yep.
Tighten everything down as hard as you can. Just tighten it down. I'm talking. It's super. It's like even grocery stores that are essentials.
Full martial law.
Yeah, exactly. Or
like you have 1 week to get all the supplies you can, and after that, you don't see the light of day.
Right, exactly. Or you loosen it up all the way and just tell everyone, listen, if you get sick, good luck getting into a hospital. Okay?
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. Good luck.
Yep.
You're probably going to die, but we're going to loosen everything up. Go to your restaurants. Go to your friggin' whatever yoga classes. Go to the casino. Go do whatever you want to do. But if you get sick, ain't shit going to happen for you. Like that's as much as we got to do.
Exactly. Survival of the fittest.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. There's.
I don't know. That's what some of the Scandinavian countries are going with, and obviously they don't have the population densities that we do. But I don't know.
Right.
They can't. They have so many social programs. They can't really afford to. They're wealthy countries, but they also tax the shit out of people. So if their economy dies, their way of life is going to change substantially.
Right.
So they're going strong.
Right.
They're like, if we get sick, we get sick. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Right. And I think that's kind of the thing where it's like you think, okay, well, not big anarchist, but that's either you go full anarchy, govern yourselves, like you do it yourself. You don't have Big Brother watching over you, or you are welded into your house for 4 months, grab as much stuff as you possibly can, and then that's it. Yeah. All right, guys, had to cut that one short, man. He knows how to talk. Who knows if he'll ever listen to this, and so do I. So we're going to go ahead to two-parter, and thanks for listening. Catch up next week, or maybe in a couple days I'll post the second part.